All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome inside the Yawkey Athletic Center. It's an exciting day for Boston College and Boston College football. I am Brendan Flynn, BC Director of Football Communications. Thank you to all of you for being here. For those of you watching on ACC Network Extra, thank you for your continued support of BC football. Just a quick rundown of today's program. We will hear from each of the gentlemen seated to my left this morning, followed by a Q&A with our media in attendance. Following the conclusion of the Q&A, both the AD and the head coach will be available for breakout interviews here inside the Barber Family Auditorium. With that, to introduce the 37th head coach in Boston College football history, please join me in welcoming the William B. Campbell Director of Athletics, Blake James.
Thank you, Brendan. On June 2nd, 2022, I stood here, said my job is to elevate the heights to new heights. Last Friday, we took a monumental step as Boston College in that direction. Yes, we won in hockey. Yes, we won in women's lacrosse. We won 2 games in softball. We beat BU in women's tennis. But the biggest thing I was excited about that day was I signed the ink on the contract for the new Gregory P. Barber and family head football coach. A little background on how we got there. I first want to give thanks to our president, Father William B. Leahy. Father Leahy was supportive throughout this entire process. He's been very adamant on his desire to see our football program be its best. I want to thank our search committee, David Traynor, Craig Anderson, Reggie Terry, Father Jack, and our FAR, Bob Murphy, to talk a little bit about the process. It was a national search. When we got the news from Coach Hafley that he was going to take the defensive coordinator position with the Green Bay Packers, I quickly put together the team, identified individuals we thought would be a fit for us here at Boston College. We interviewed college head coaches, coordinators, assistant coaches. We interviewed coaches from the NFL. We talked to our players. Our players gave us the input that they wanted a winner. They wanted someone who's passionate. They wanted a motivator. I talked with Father Jack as we interviewed candidates in person, and he grabbed me and said, Blake, this is the strongest pool of candidates we've ever had for football head coaching position here at Boston College. But one candidate stood out from the rest. He was the best fit for Boston College. So I want to welcome his wife, Colleen, a 92 Boston College graduate, his sons, Michael and Jack. And now, I want to hand off the ball to the man I'm confident will elevate the football program to greater heights, the Gregory P. Barber and family head football coach, Bill O'Brien.
Thank you very much. This is it's an overwhelming day for me because I see so many people that are here today that have been in my life for a long time. So I really appreciate everybody being here today. I really do. I have a few notes here, so bear with me. A lot of people to thank, a lot of things that I want to convey to everybody in the crowd and everybody out there relative to Boston College. I am thrilled and honored to be the head football coach at Boston College. I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity. And I'm very proud to be the leader of a program with such a rich history and tradition. I've been with the team since last Friday. I sat here last Friday and met with the team. I had our first team meeting. And I don't know if everybody knows this about the Boston College program right now, is that this is a morning program. So these are young men that get up at 5:30 every morning and they work out with us. They meet on football. That's how they practice in the spring. That's how they practice in the fall. And then they go to class. And as the leader of the Boston College football program, that's one of the main reasons why I wanted the job. You can win at a place like this. This is a place where young men can come and play good football, get a great education, and give back to the community. And I think that's what Boston College is all about. And so I just want you to know that this is an outstanding group of young men who will proudly represent Boston College both on and off the field. I've already met a lot of great people here in my short time at Boston College, and I can't wait to meet more people. I'm especially excited to meet the students. I see them on campus a lot when I walk around campus, the alumni, and most especially, and I see a few guys here today, the lettermen, the lettermen of Boston College football. I'm excited to work with the Friends of the Heights group to keep building on what they have already started. I'm really excited with that. I met with Tom Levitt yesterday and had a good meeting. In the athletic department, I'm looking forward to working with all the other coaches. I met a few coaches. I haven't met them all. And I think that's one of the things I love about college sports is you're able to interact with all the other sports. I went to the hockey game the other night. You know, I'll be at the basketball game this weekend, probably the hockey game on Sunday if Colleen and I can make it to all those games. But I really enjoy the other sports, and I enjoy getting to know the other coaches and, you know, how they recruit and how they strategize and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to that. And really it's about continuing the mission that Blake just talked about of building a winning culture at Boston College, both on and off the field. I would especially like to thank Father Leahy, Father Jack Butler, Blake James, Reggie Terry, David Trainer, and Craig Anderson. We had great discussions about the values of Boston College: faith, education, service to others, commitment, integrity, respect, and loyalty. Those are the things that make Boston College such an incredible place and really why I wanted the job. I will do my best every single day. We've already started this. Like I said, I've been here for 5 days. I will do my best every single day to instill these values in our players, our student athletes, every day that I'm here as the head football coach. More thanks, I apologize, but just bear with me. I really like to thank my wife, Colleen. Being a coach's wife is not easy, and Colleen is a very special person in so many ways, and I'm very thankful for her every day of my life. I'd also like to mention that Blake already beat me to the punch on this, but she is a proud member of the Boston College class of 1992, magna cum laude, so you know where all the brains of the family come from. I want to thank my two sons, Jack, who can't be here today, and Michael, who is here today. They are inspirations to Colleen and I every day of their lives. Michael is 18 years old. He's a very special guy. He goes to Tufts, which is in Medford, and he plays baseball there, and we're really proud of Michael. Jack is 21 years old and a very special guy, and hopefully everybody gets a chance to meet him someday. I'd like to thank my in-laws, Don and Claire Korn, who help us take care of our son, Jack. They're in Dedham right now taking care of Jack. I'd like to thank my parents, John and Ann. My dad, John, is here in the front row. I'd really like to thank my parents. They taught us, they gave us a great work ethic. They taught us the value of an education. They taught us the value of faith, what faith meant in our family. And they really put us on a path for success. My two older brothers are here today, very successful guys that are in the front row here today, and I'll talk about them in a second. But just really, really happy that my dad was able to come here today. You know, my brother Tom picked him up. He's down on the Cape. Anybody that's familiar with my family knows that we have strong roots on Cape Cod. So thank you, Tom, for bringing Dad up here today. I'd like to thank my brothers and their wives, John and Kathleen, who are here today, and Tom and Tricia. Tricia can't be here today, but Tom's wife, Tricia. John, Tom, Kathleen, and my two nephews, Matt and Tomas, are here today. Thank you guys for coming. Kathleen, my brother John's wife, is a proud 1982 graduate of Boston College in the front row here. And my niece, Kate, who works on the West Coast, a very, very successful businesswoman, is a proud 2017 graduate of Boston College. I really want to thank Ryan Day, the head football coach at Ohio State, for his patience and his understanding of why it was so important for me to pursue this job. You know, a lot of people here at Boston College are familiar with Ryan Day. Ryan Day is an outstanding person, an outstanding coach, and he was great during this whole process. I want to thank Bill Belichick for all that he has done for my career. I'll never be able to repay Bill for what he's done for my career, and I appreciate what he said about this opportunity for me yesterday. I really thank Bill for that. I'd like to thank Robert and Jonathan Kraft for all their support over the years. That's meant a lot to me. As I already mentioned, my responsibility to this program is to instill in our student athletes the values of Boston College: character, hard work, respect, integrity in everything that we do. We will strive for success on the field and in the classroom. We'll cultivate our minds and our talents and use those in service to others. Right now, I'm putting together an outstanding staff of coaches who will represent BC in a first-class way in everything that they do. We will hold the coaches and players to a high standard, both on and off the field. That's what Boston College is all about. That's how we've won in the past, and that's how we're going to win in the future. We will recruit players who embrace Boston College and all of its values. We can win with guys who want to get a great education and play good football in the ACC. In keeping with the great tradition of Boston College, we're going to be a smart, tough, physical football team. We've already talked about that for 5 days. We might not win every game, but we will not be out-toughed. We will not be out-competed. We will be a tough, smart, physical football team. We'll be a good situational team, and we'll be a team that plays complementary football in all 3 phases. I'd like to extend a message to the BC football family. I know there's a lot of guys here today, and I really appreciate guys coming out for this press conference that played here. Some guys that I even coached at the Patriots that are back there, like Dan Copen, who's a good friend of mine. But guys that played here, I want to extend a message to the BC football family, former coaches, but especially the players. I have tremendous respect for the history of this program and great admiration for your loyalty. We respectfully request the chance to earn your trust and support through communication and a tremendous work ethic. You will always be welcome in this program, and we hope you will be a big part of our program. In closing, I just wanted to share that growing up outside of Boston with my family as a lifelong BC fan, a lot of us went to Brown, but we were secret Boston College fans, I promise you. I went into coaching in 1993. When I got out of Brown, I went into coaching at Brown, and I always dreamed about being the head coach at Boston College. My career has taken some twists and turns and taken me down roads I never could have imagined. But as I stand here today, I couldn't be more grateful that the road has finally taken me back home to Boston College. Thank you for everybody for being here today, and I'm proud to be your head coach.
All right, for our media members in attendance, please raise your hand. We'll get the microphone to you. Prior to asking your first question, please state your name and media affiliation. We'll start with Rich.
Hello, Bill. My name is Rich Thompson, Boston Herald.
Hey, Rich.
Around a lot, so. Just at your stage of your career, is this your destination job?
Absolutely. I had a lot of discussions with Blake in the search committee, and also when I had the honor of meeting Father Leahy, about being committed to this program. This is a program that will do things the right way, that can win, in a program that even just being here for 5 days, can't wait to get to work every day. Can't wait to be here, to be around these guys, to be with our coaching staff, to try to get this thing going in the right direction. Jeff Hafley did a really good job. He did a good job here. And we need to build on that. And we also need to build on what's been done in the past here. Over the course of time, obviously, having connections to Coach Bicknell and Coach Coughlin and Coach O'Brien, and knowing the success that they had here and the formula that they did it with, that's something that I really believe in, and I can't wait to, get that going.
Alan?
Congratulations, Alan Siegel from the Football Journal.
Yep.
And this is to both Bill and Blake. Gentlemen, what is the vision for this Boston College football program going forward in terms of competing and where you want to take the program eventually in terms of the landscape of college football? And as a second part of the same question, what's your vision for how you get the players that you need to accommodate that vision?
Yeah, well, I think for me, like, you know, that's a great question, and we're putting that all together. But the vision is what I said. This will be a team that on the football field will play smart, will be tough, will be a physical team, will be a team that does the simple things well. Like we have to, you know, we have to be the team that wins the penalty battle, that wins the turnover battle, that plays the best on third down, that plays the best in the red area. We have to play good situational football. Off the field, you know, this is a place that I really believe that we all in the football program have to embrace what Boston College is. And you can do both. You want to come in here in the middle of an unbelievable campus. I went to church. I went to 8 a.m. Mass at St. Mary's. I'm brown-nosing my dad a little bit, I guess, to tell him I went to church. But I went to church at 8 a.m. Mass at St. Mary's, walked up through campus. This is a beautiful campus, unbelievable campus, and in the middle of the greatest city in the world. So we need to sell that to the guys that are coming in, and along with, quite obviously, one of the best educations that you can receive in this world. So that's the vision, and I promise you we'll show up every Saturday and try to, you know, create that vision.
The only thing I'll add to that is that's what we discussed. You know, as I said in my opening comments, there's one person who clearly rose to the top as the best fit for Boston College. Everything Bill just touched on is what we were looking for in a coach, and that's why I'm excited to be partnering with him to move this forward.
Trevor House with the Globe. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Trevor.
I'm just curious about your local ties, both, you know, personally growing up here and then your family's ties. Talked about it previously in your opening remarks, but just how that played into your decision to come here.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that's something that's very important about me and my family being from here and growing up. I'm the youngest of three. So I was the one out of my two older brothers that was fortunate enough to you know, I grew up in Andover and spent most of my formative years in Andover. Then I went to St. John's Prep. I see the head football coach, Brian St. Pierre, is a good friend of mine who played here. I went to St. John's Prep and graduated in 1988. And like I said, I dreamed, you know, after I got out of Brown, got into coaching, my parents were like, "Are you sure you want to coach? We just spent all this money on this education. You sure?" I said, "Please, trust me, it'll work out." Sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't. But I, you know, I just think this is a great fit for my family and I. Colleen went to school here. Michael goes to Tufts. I just think it's a fantastic fit, and looking forward to really just we've gotten started, but really getting started.
Go John, then Mike.
Hey, Bill, good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
John Cernitas, New England Football Journal.
Yep.
Just some thoughts on the changing landscape of college football. Obviously, you haven't been too far removed from it. You were at Alabama, obviously, recently. But just some thoughts on Boston College, the changing landscape, and how do you balance coaching the program, NIL, and all the other stuff that comes with the job now?
Yeah, I mean, that's something, again, like I think you need to embrace, right? Like you know, Blake and Father Leahy and Reggie Terry, you know, everybody's been so good to me and our staff right off the bat. And we need to work. It's called work. You have to organize your time. You have to budget your time properly, and you got to work. And so we're going to put the work in. You know, some things won't happen overnight. Some things will take time. Some things will happen quicker. But it's all about work. I think you can balance it when you organize it and you have great people around you. We have great people here. Putting together a great coaching staff. We'll announce that probably all at once. We have great people in the athletic department. Really, some of the best people I've already been around. You know, Reggie and I have spent probably close to 12 hours a day together. You know, he's the liaison between Blake and the athletic department and football, and just a great person. And so, you know, just going to work every single day, putting in the time and making sure that you balance it, you can do what you need to do.
Coach, Mike Altieri, Lights, Camera Sports. You've been at Penn State, you've been at Alabama. BC, with the expanded college football playoff, now it's kind of plateaued at 7 wins, 6 wins. Can BC win the ACC and make the playoffs and win the national championship?
BC. I've been in several. Tomorrow. This is not my first rodeo. I've dealt with several questions like that. Look, I think that again, Boston College is a place where you can do a lot of great things. I am not into the prediction. You know, that's really not what I do. what I will promise you is that we will field a very competitive football team with a bunch of guys that'll play hard, that'll be tough, that'll carry on the tradition of one of my best friends in the world is here today, Mike Panos, who played here for Coach Bignell and Coach Coughlin. Will carry on the tradition of these guys that played here, that played tough football. Will we win the national championship every year? Who knows? Why not? I don't know. I'm not a predictor. I'm not a genie. I'm just telling you that we will show up every Saturday and we will play to the best of our ability.
Go with Ben and then Sarab.
Hey, Bill, to your right over here. Ben Volan from the Globe. Congrats on the job.
Yep, appreciate it.
Similar question. What does success look like for you here?
Success is, again, fielding a team that's a tough football team, fielding a team filled with guys that understand the value of an education, that give back to the community, that graduate from Boston College and do great things in their lives. I think that's one of the things about Boston College that really attracted me to the job. And when I spoke to the search committee, those were things that I really talked a lot about. Like, you know, the reason why I love the place and the reason why I've loved my first 5 days here is if you were around this football team for the 5 days that I've been around them, these are guys that they invest a lot of time in a lot of different areas. They invest a lot of time in football, they invest a lot of time in the classroom, and they invest a lot of time in giving back to the community. These are great guys here right now that are working really hard. What does success look like? To me, that's what it looks like. You know, good guys that care about football, that care about getting a great education, and care about giving back to the community.
Sarab Gokhan from the Heights. Good to meet you, Bill.
Good to meet you.
Thomas Castellanos recently announced his intention to stay with BC. What sort of offense do you envision running with him under center, and how have those early conversations been with him so far?
Yeah, Tommy's been great. Everybody's been great. One of the things that I try to do right off the bat, I learned this when I went to Penn State. One of the things, and not everybody's familiar with when I was at Penn State, but you know, it was a tough time when I went to Penn State. And one of the things that we did right away, which I'm doing right now, is I met individually with every single player. I've probably met with 40, and I have 60 more to go over the next few days into next week. And that's been really good. Tommy's been one of those guys. Tommy is a great guy, an excellent football player. Offensively, you know, we'll be a game plan offense. We'll do some different things. We have to see who we have and be able to teach it and then go out there and practice it. So I'm not going to get into all the details of what we're going to do offensively. But I will tell you that the guys that I've met, including Tommy, can't wait to coach him, and I've really enjoyed being around him.
Rich Thompson, Boston Herald again.
Yep.
Do you have a structure in place for spring ball? I mean, that's right around the corner.
I mean, it's not right around the corner. I mean, it's like, you know, about a little less than a month. We got time. It's called work. We'll have a good structure for it. I promise you. We'll have a good structure for it. We'll probably start after spring break, and we'll keep the spring game date, I believe, the same date that it was. But we'll have a really good structure for it. I promise you.
Luke Evans with the Heights as well. What's your message to students, both Blake and Bill, to get them to buy in for all 4 quarters this year?
Yeah, it's a great question because Blake and I talked about this yesterday. You know, one of the things that I think is obviously one of the most important parts of this program is creating a home field advantage, which obviously the students are a huge part of that. And from what I've heard, the students come out very well to watch these football games. And like you said, we got to keep them in the stands for 4 quarters so they don't head back to Shea Field for the tailgate. So we have to do a good job of being a very competitive football team that plays good football, that plays into the 4th quarter, that wins games at home. We have to have a home field advantage. One of the things I want to do is, as much time as I have allocated to do this, but like to get out on campus and to encourage them to come to the spring game and then follow that up with obviously encouraging them to come to the home games and be there for us. Because I do think with the student body here, I think it could create a really good home field advantage.
The only thing I'd add to Bill's comments there is one of the great surprises I've had in my time here at BC is the awesome student support we have. And when you look at, we get about half of our student body scanning in every single football game. And I think what you're going to see is the team that Bill puts out on the field, to your question, what's going to keep him for 4 quarters, is watching the team that he puts out on the field.
We'll do 2 more with Kevin and then Dan.
Kevin Stone, Member Football Journal. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, Kevin.
Coming over from the Patriots, do you plan on kind of relying on anybody over there still, or is that sort of a separate thing now, and you're kind of your own man now?
Yeah, no, well, there'll be certain staff members. Like I said, I'll announce the staff when I do, but no, I won't be calling back to the Patriots for advice on how to play Florida State. No, I probably won't be doing that. I'm not sure they'll have time for me on that too. I do wish them the best. I wish Coach Mayo and that staff, Elliott Wolf, Matt Groh, all those guys. I wish them the best, for their success.
Dan Rubin from BCEagles.com. Coach, you mentioned the local aspect and just kind of having the growing up that way, but how do you kind of envision BC in the community, its current spot when you were looking at the job, and then even moving forward beyond the football field? You've obviously seen football here in Massachusetts and New England at every level.
Yeah, no, I think that we have to do a great job, like I said, in the community. I think we, relative to football, we have to have a really good high school coaches clinic. I know that I'm going out to the big New England clinic in Newport. I think there's another clinic at Gillette Stadium. I'm going to speak at that. So we'll get out there football-wise as much as we can, as much time that we can allocate to that. But absolutely, I can honestly tell you that high school coaches, especially when I talk to some of the guys that had coached here in the past, that was one of the things that's very, very important, is that we do as good a job as we can of putting a wall up around New England and keeping these best players in New England coming to Boston College. Players that embrace what Boston College is all about, good football players that care about academics and care about getting a great education, not letting them go to Clemson and Miami. Let's keep them at home where their parents can drive 20 minutes, 30 minutes to come watch them play right here in this beautiful stadium. I think we'll really start working on, we already have started working on that, but high school coaches in Massachusetts and in New England, come on into spring practice. It's opened up. You guys come in anytime you want.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Blake. Everyone, thank you for joining us today. That concludes the program. To the media, Coach O'Brien and Blake James will be available immediately following a couple photos for breakout interviews. Thank you all for coming, and go BC.
Did you get one of me handing him the football?
He was going to have you meet my dad.
My guys are coming to help. I'll just stay here. Got the mics.
They're going to take a